Alrighty, so we're back on some Jujutsu Kaisen. I was prepared to start my, the Black Clover grind, but managed to get a decent VPN going for Jujutsu Kaisen, and I kind of just pretty much went all out with story mode and just kind of progressed a lot from it. Now, with all that being said, one thing which I did mention with this Jujutsu Kaisen game is, of course, talking more about the characters themselves, putting them in a tier list and where I think they are, and how the game is currently handling with each characters on how good they are. Obviously, with Jujutsu Kaisen, it seems that people are actually enjoying the game. Fair enough. Each to their own, as I say. Anyway, I digress. I want to dive into the tier list side of things. I don't want to mess about. I want to get straight into things. And so with that, we are just going to dive on in. Obviously, Gojo is going to be in his own tier. I don't understand on why they decided to go down this route with this man, making him invincible, giving him a 7-turn countdown, I guess, and his damage output just been ridiculously high. Not sure why they went about down this route, but I mean, I kind of understand, but at the same time, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so I guess the next character, or next two character in question, because we'll go straight to S, is Phatom, who doesn't know where is it. Yes, Itadori is a crazy good character. Pretty much, he does pack an absolute punch, which is exactly what you want. More importantly, he can raise his own crit rate by a large sum amount. Of course, he also recovers special gauge by 150, which is very nice. But again, more importantly, crit rate's going up, damage output is going to be high. He does have the chance to actually lower the enemy's crit resistance too, so he's pretty much the full package to allow basically to do crit damage, a crit nuke if you want to say. So he's actually a picture perfect character to be placed in S rank, and with him again another high damage character which I actually had the pleasure of using. Someone actually had a level, I think it was a level 80, and I'm telling you, it was an easy 100k nuke. It was, with where my account is at right now, I shouldn't have been able to do that mission, and she just came in and just nuked. So pretty much you can raise the increased magic formula by for 4 turns, so that's a 35% increase. So that's exactly what I did, and then after that you basically just go on to the attack. And obviously with certain attacks they do give the nail count. So with the first attack, of course, does initial damage, however it also applies nail count +3 on the selected enemy that you of course then attacked. You do have a third attack which I don't typically use, but 200% damage on selected enemies, and then of course the effect increases as own HP percentages decreases. So I mean, that's a nice little touch to have if you are losing HP, but it really is coming down to applying the nail counter onto the enemy, because then of course by giving the boost, applying the nail counters, coming with the ultimate, you're essentially just dropping an absolute bomb. So it grants +3 nail counters selected enemy for 3 turns, 225% damage of range attack technique to the enemy with nail count. Effect increases as the enemy's nail count increases. So if, I mean, again, the more nails you got applied to the enemy, then it's practically a GG. But she's again on par with basically being an amazing offensive nuker, of course. So again, 2 characters which I would not mind pulling, I will say that much. Alright, pause. I know this is a tier list video. I literally had a silver ticket and I did a single. I just pulled Toto. I literally had a silver ticket and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it for the sake, because I'm recording right now, and you never you know what, shoot, okay, hold on a minute, where is he? Toto, where are you? Boom. Comes to Toto, why I'm actually very happy about this character is that he is a character that can hinder the enemy by applying disturbance, so again applying confusion, and of course that will help us out to do more damage, right? Because I mean, even on the enemy's turn you're doing more damage. So just to give you guys an example of what's going on, so disturb the enemy who single attacks an ally under the effect for 3 turns, 70% chance on it activating. So what the best friend buff is that it's applied, as you guys can see, with the ult as well as the second skill. So he, not only does he support the team by being its own counter attacker, but he can also apply increase on the taijutsu, so melee region of buffs. So again, he's actually pretty perfect for Panda. So for example, with myself, I have Panda in front, Toto will come in, give him the best friend buff, so if anyone attacks Panda, then there's a 70% chance that Toto will then counter attack and attack the enemy on the enemy's turn, which is very nice, but also buffing up my Panda. Keep in mind, Panda is not only a tank, he can go into the gorilla mode to do damage, so that's actually picture perfect. So Todo overall is just a super helpful support character. Very, very good character, so I'm actually over the moon that I pulled him. One thing which I did want to mention is I wanted to talk about briefly about the, was it Jogo and Hanami, of course, the two evildoers in the game. Now, these characters are free to play, and they're only available in the shop. Now, obtained on hard or higher of area survey. I'm not too sure. So I think this is story mission that's on hard mode or higher. It does not drop on normal, so you have to process through the game quite a bit to get it. Oh, okay. So yeah, it seems that in order to get these characters, it's going to be more on a later on stage. So yeah, main quest chapter 4, 17 cleared. Event period can always be challenged after release. So I think it is normal. Sorry, I think it is story mode, but on the hard and higher stages is when these materials are going to be dropped. So they are obtainable in a free-to-play manner. Okay, so pretty much what I'm going to do for Jogo is actually I'm also just place them both right now. So Jogo is going to be S rank, and then Hanami, I think I'm going to go with A rank for now. So with Jogo, he's pretty much on par with just pretty much a damage dealer. So yeah, combined damage of melee and magic to a selected enemy. I believe on all of his attacks by the looks of it, right? I believe I think he can do also damage over time. I'm pretty sure. Where is it? So death blow increases own crit rate by a large amount, increases damage by 60%, and reduces damage received by 30%. Recovers own magic power by 60%. There's no upper limit. Ranged attack formula by 600% to all enemies. And then yeah, so and then he after that he does continuous fire down. His ultimate is disgusting, right? That's just a huge output. So just in general doing damage, and then again if you can support him with characters, then it's a GG on the amount of damage this man can produce. But that ultimate is pretty insane, kind of on par with what he's capable of within season 2. If you've seen what he's, you know, if you've seen how strong that man, you know, or it is. It's not a man, is it? I don't know. When it comes to Hanami, of course, if it's the story Hanami, if that's how this character is working, then we might be onto something. So the clear indication of where this character truly is kind of cracked is more to do with the third skill, the ultimate, and I guess the passes themselves. So of course, consistent healing from the passes, which is very nice, and then of course on top of that, recovers own curse power by 10 every start of wave. That's very universal for a lot of characters, I will say. I mean, kind of makes sense, right? But with the third skill, you're basically increasing your special gauge, which is very nice, by 86%. It says damage reduction to all enemies. I think there's a bit of a translation there, but I think it's reducing the enemy's attack, right? So that they're doing less damage to us. That's what I'm gathering. So in that sense, Hanami I could see is a decent character. Again, the ultimate is pretty disgusting. I mean, 919%, that's pretty cracked out. Again, coming back to reducing the enemy's damage output, I want to say. But again, we'll find out more once we test things out with these characters, as they are free to play and no one has their hands on them. But this is kind of where I'm classing these two evil duos, of course. Alright, so moving along, we're going to get into Panda. Of course, Panda is, as I've aforementioned, an amazing tank and a character that I've luckily, thankfully pulled. So I'm over the moon by that. So when Gojo kind of dips, obviously Panda is still there, ready to absorb as much damage, can pull Taunt, which is very nice. The key thing to also understand is that once he does his ultimate, he then stays in the gorilla mode. So not only is he a character that is there for tanking, but at the right moment when you need to kind of change things around and need to go on the offensive, you can go into gorilla mode by activating the ultimate, and then he will stay in that form and then be consistent with the attacks, of course. So his movesets do change up. I'm not too sure why it's not being shown here, but that's kind of like the premise of Panda. Very simplistic. So give yourself a resurrection status at the start of the battle once. So basically, right, once Panda is dead, once he loses all his HP, he comes back. So honestly, Panda is basically one of the best tanks in the goddamn, outside of Gojo, because, well, you can't kill Gojo. But I will put where's Panda? Yeah, look, I'm putting him as rank. I've got him. He's an absolute monster. I love him. An amazing tank. Resurrection, you gotta love him. But Gojo will obviously take the cake since he doesn't die. Well, he technically does die at turn 7 because he walks off. But Panda will be in S rank. I'm sorry. I love Panda. Such a good tank. If it wasn't for Panda, trust me, I would not have progressed some of the fights. He tanks. Alright, who do we look at? Should we look at Nanami? You know what? Yeah, we'll do Nanami. Why not? So, where I'm going to place Nanami is, I will put, where is he? Boom. I'm going to be placing him pretty much under Itadori because of being a crit, right? If I don't have Itadori, of course, I will then class out to use Nanami, since them two are kind of playing that crit role, right? So like increases self crit, medium, increases break damage also by 50%, which is also, that's actually really nice. I will say that break damage buff. But again, he's pretty much the same as just being that crit machine. There's not really much to go on from that. So yeah, I will put him under, saying A. So that's where I'm going to class him. So we'll do, oh, we got 3 left, right? 3, because I want to get all the SSRs out of the way. Okay, so Toga I'm actually going to put B rank. Unfortunately with this character, it's just more on the line of doing damage and having your HP reduced. I mean, so far he's not been a bad character for myself. Like, I've been using him a tad, but he does have self-healing too, which is very nice. But it's just one of those characters where you do damage, but you take damage. So I will say, in the scheme of things of where you need his typing, nice to have. But outside of that, it's just a character which I'm having to currently use, right? But I will be switching up the team now a tad bit. Now I've got my boy Toto, so he might not going to be making the cut anymore. But we'll see. But he's B rank just because of the double-edged sword of a character that he is. Maki is also another character that realistically isn't bringing too much to the table, which again I've had the chance of using. But again, there's not really much going on with this character outside of just pretty much just doing a little bit of damage. She does have a bit of a reduction play going on with her second skill, which is pretty nice to absorb more damage, but overall just a character which I would say is pretty mid tier, unfortunately. And then Fujigoro I will put in A rank. Not a bad character. I believe he has stun, which I was not aware of. More importantly, he's got his 2 wolves to play around with that give him either, I think, attack boost and something, I think even stun or break. So on the ultimate, depending on obviously what wolf you have, I don't know why it says dog, I'm gonna say wolf because dog, wolf, whatever, you guys get the idea. So depending on which one you have, obviously it gives you either 10% damage reduction or you get a 20% increase on break damage, which is very nice. Also, it's a 300% damage, which is very nice. If the Jade Dog Hun is present, then you do 400%. So pretty much a bit of a gamble going on right there. But either way, good buffs. So on the first skill, yeah, regular damage of course. So if Hun, then your break damage will increase by 20%. If you have Hin, I'm not too sure if this is the correct translation for the dogs themselves, but I'm just going to go off from what's being shown right here. Then you do an increased damage of 140% rather than 100%, so a buff of 40% for the first skill, so that's pretty handy. But I believe where things get cooked up a little bit more is on the second skill. So inflicts 80% damage, has a 60% chance to stun, so he does have the stun factor applied. I believe the probability might be able to go up if you level up the skill itself, which is going to be super clutch, so keep that in mind. And on top of that, depending on which wolf dog you have present, again, the break damage increase will go up, or the damage increase will go up. Honestly, Fujigoro is actually a really solid character. So again, another character which I don't mind getting. Keep in mind, he does have the stun probability, so if you want to invest into leveling up that skill in particular, you might want to consider that. But that's the SSR version. Okay, and I think that's all the SSRs done and dusted, and where I would personally class them. Again, if you guys want to go ahead and change them around, then you're more than welcome to. Okay, alright, so is this... Oh god, I forgot that. Is it Shoko? I think it is. Basically, I believe Shoko is the only healer we have in the game, right? So yeah, B rank, high B rank, you know, you know, low A, high B rank, you know, she's the only healer, so I mean, that's kind of like the best place to put her. Rindo, okay, so this is one of the new characters that we have. I'm actually going to put her last because there's not much going on with her. So Rin, unfortunately, she's a bit of a weird character in the sense of that she pulls Taunt. Like, of course she does regular attacks, which is absolutely fine, but she's pulling Taunt. She does recover 100 special gauge. I'm just like, okay, if you're pulling Taunt, where's the damage reduction? I don't want you to die. So by her pulling Taunt, she actually feeds off from losing HP. So with the ultimate, obviously she does show initial damage. However, the effect, the effect increases as your own HP percentage decreases. So basically, her ultimate does more once she loses out on HP. So I was like, okay, I mean, that's again a bit of a double-edged sword, but not in your favor, as I like to say. And then of course her passive was then giving her a 10% damage reduction. It's just a character which I'm not really seeing much of course, when it comes to and how helpful this character would be. So disappointment, but at the end of the day, I do say that there will be an SSR version of her at some point. Now, when it comes to obviously Yuki, the other original character from the game itself, a whole different ball game. I'm up him in A rank, a whole different ball game. This man right here, he's got the defense plate on hand. Obviously the characters themselves, just by the artwork, you can kind of tell that Rin is obviously an attacking character, as well as Yuki is being a defensive character. So with his first skill, grants 70% damage from long range attack. So 50% damage reduction right there for one turn or one time from the first skill. All allies receive a 22% less magic damage for 3 turns, and then grants attack immunity to selected allies for 3 turns or 2 times, and grants a 15% increase to magic. That third skill was defensible indeed. Defensible indeed. God damn. He's actually a really solid character. I don't know why the evaluation is at B rank. Bro, for an SR, get your ass in A rank. I'm sorry. A character. I don't think I've got the character, so I'm praying that whenever I start doing summons, I get lucky. So now we're gonna look at Momo, and Momo is going A rank. Why? Because she is an AoE stunner. So inflicts stun to all enemies 1 turn, 50% probability. Keep in mind, you can put up the probability if you do work on the skill. She's the only AoE stunner we have in the game. So if you do have her, I do have her. I need to level her up. I've only just started looking at some of these SR characters, and I'm just like, god damn. Yeah, we gotta get to work. She also gives herself evasion status, which is very nice, only for 1 turn. She's AoE stunning on the 3rd skill and the ultimate. The ultimate is 10% lower with the probability, but again, if you level it up, if you work on the skill, you can push the probability up, which is very nice. 2nd skill also gives damage increase to all your allies by 41%. Again, gives avoidance status to herself. So she's pretty much just avoiding the enemy itself while stunning and buffing up your team. An amazing, great character to consider working on, and if you do have her, please do consider working on her. Right, some of these SR characters, guys, I'm telling you, very, very good. Kamo, I'm gonna put him in B. He is another stunner. Where is he? That's not you. There we go. Yeah, so another stunner, pretty much. Again, if you don't have Megumi, if you don't have Megumi, then you can resort to having him, because I believe his probability is a little bit higher. So on his 2nd skill, 60% chance. Again, just stunners right now are just cheese characters. There are going to be missions and whatnot that you might be stuck on, and if you work on these characters, if you get their skills up, you can literally cheese your way and get the dub quite easily. There are some friend characters that you can bring that are very high up there. Like I said, people have got their characters like 80 now, so you can literally just nuke essentially with some of these missions by just stunning the enemy, giving you time. So that's one thing to take note of. So yeah, he's basically going to B rank, a nice little stunner to have. Alright, I think what I will do is also Mechamaru and Mai, I'm going to put in C rank. Mai, unfortunately, there's not really much to her. I think there's only one thing that's really got going for Mechamaru, unfortunately, but yeah, Mai, I just didn't really find too much going for her. Increases damage, effective when the selected enemy is in break or debuff state. Then essentially you're doing a little bit more damage, of course. Yeah, that's fine. 75% damage, range attack, grants stealth to self for 2 turns, and then just initial damage output. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much. She does have the stun probability, but it's only by 30%. I mean, you got better options. Mai is... She's below mid, I will say. And then of course, when it comes to Mechamaru, there was something about this character which really did... Oh yeah, it's his passive. So basically he grants himself poison resistance to self, nullifies darkness, nullifies stuns, nullifies confusion, grants instant death resistance, and grants immunity to reversal techniques. Just a lot of resistance going on from the passive. Unfortunately, the character himself, I just really needed more, but he's just basically just doing damage essentially. So love the passive, but there isn't any substance to his there's no meat to his attack. Miwa, oh wait, where did I put you? I think Miwa I put in B rank? So with Miwa, of course, the key thing which really stood out to me was the second skill and the third skill. So she grants evasion stats to herself for 2 turns or 1 time, and grants attack attraction for 2 turns, and grants 20% increase in physical skill for 2 turns. So pulling taunt essentially right here. And then what really does kind of correlate with that is the third skill, because she then gives herself counter attack status for 2 turns. So damage counter equal, so counter damage equal to 66.6 damage, combined damage of 65% of taijutsu and 65% of technique to the enemy who made the melee attack on you. So that's a nice little pair to have. On the passive, obviously provokes 1 random enemy at the start of the wave, so you can be pretty consistent with the counter attack right here. Keep in mind it is requiring 30 curse magic, so just bear that in mind. Ultimate itself, just doing damage on both melee and technique, of course, and then the co-op side of thing again, just to increase on damage. But yeah, the thing that really intrigued me with this character is the first 2 skills. So you can make probably something out of that, but I would say at best it's probably going to be B side. And then Masamichi, oh, I can't remember where I placed it. I'm pretty sure A rank is where you deserve to be. Purely because, again, another amazing support character in the region of actually allowing you to do more damage towards the enemy. So obviously first attack is just the initial damage, which is fine. So yeah, grants 28% increase on taijutsu to all allies and a 28% increase on technique, so basically on both regions, which is extremely handy. And then adds 100% range attack formula, that's fine. To self, oh, and 28% increase in damage received, so basically debuffing the enemy in them taking an additional 28% more damage, which is very nice. Then the ultimate itself does 400% damage, which is nice. So 25% reduction on physical techniques for 2 turns, 25% decrease in technique, so yeah, curse magic, whatever, for 2 turns. Increases damage taken by 25% on the selected enemy. So with that ultimate, with that second skill, it's practically, oh my god, I always forget the third skill. If you can stack that up all together, that's insane. But overall, yeah, no, with the damage output on the buffs that you can apply onto your teammates to then the enemy, reducing their defense side on both physical and range, of course, then yeah, it's a GG. So A rank for sure, A rank for sure if you are needing that support. This is one character which I always forget, but I'm going to be putting him in C rank because I don't think there's too much. What's his name? Yoshino. Okay, this is one character which name I just, yeah, no idea. But with this character, he's the only character that does poison damage, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I mean, he does give damage reduction to all enemies, which is nice. So it's only 7.5, but it's more importantly the poison factor of this character and what he's actually applying. Also grants attack nullification, so that's actually pretty handy of him. But the key thing for this man is the poison damage, because I believe if the enemy is poisoned, then the effectiveness on the ultimate does go up to do a lot of damage, which is very nice. And again, I believe it also continues on, so yeah, 92.5% damage, continuous poison damage applied for 3 turns. So the ultimate does kind of help out stacking up the poison damage for him to do more. Then the passive itself, at the start of the battle, increase your damage dealt to yourself by 7.5. Okay, I was about to say 75. There's a point there. By 7.5. If you have more allies that are Jujutsu sorcerers from students, there you go, same school basically. Practically everyone in the game by the sounds of it, right? So yeah, not a bad overall character. I mean, again, he's got that poison going for him, but I think at best he's going to be in the C rank department. I don't see many people using him outside if there's an event that requires to do poison, or if the enemy is weakness is poison. Alright, so we're going to look at Toto first. I think I'm going to place him in B rank purely because he's a decent SR attacking unit. So pretty much on his ultimate, increases damage dealt to yourself by 50% once effective when the enemy is in break mode, so that's 333% damage on physical damage. He does give himself a buff where he can get a 20.6% increase in taijutsu for 4 turns and a 45% increase in break damage. Increases break damage amount by 26% once and deals 192.5% damage from melee. I mean, yeah, if you can get that buff off to then that third skill, that's going to be pretty nutty. Again, if you can then if you can lean in with then the lariat with the ultimate, that's also pretty nice. If you incapacitate an enemy, give yourself a 10% increase in the melee department, which is very nice. So yeah, B is a very sufficient place for him. And then Nanami, he's pretty much honestly I feel like none of these in this game are just really good, but no, he's a pretty solid character. So again, just doing initial damage in general, both in the melee and magic region. Second skill gives himself an increase in damage as well as all your allies, so that's pretty nice. And then his ultimate itself, whilst he's doing damage in both the melee and magic region, he also gives a 14% increase in damage to all enemies. So you can really stack that up by applying that second skill to then the ultimate for your teammates to also stack up on the damage department. So with that, I will also class him pretty much on par with like where Toto is. So yeah. Alright you guys, well I think I'll leave it there. I'm still in disbelief. The fact that I pulled Toto off a single and it was from a ticket. From a silver goddamn ticket. What's the probability? Oh my god. You know what, I ain't gonna say anything, my luck. Anyway boys, I'll leave it there. Just quickly wanted to go over all the characters, do a little bit of tier list. I think this is more to also inform you guys about these SR characters. Like, they're damn freaking good. They're damn freaking good, like extremely helpful too. But overall, this is kind of where I'm classing these characters in a tier list format. You guys are also entitled to your own opinions on where you deem these characters are. So, you know, if you feel like Maki is A rank material, let me know down below. You know, where would you put these characters in a tier list format? I'm eager to see. But this is kind of where I put them. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, hopefully this gives you guys a helping hand in some of these SR characters. So don't sleep on them. Stunning machines. I need to work on Momo. AoE stunner right there. I've got her too, so I'm over the moon. But I'll leave it there for you boys. Alright boys, take care.